Hi, this is Mary from Seymour Library, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the book The Will and the Wilds by Charlie N. Holmberg. This is the book. I don't have the physical copy with me because I listened to the audiobook, but this is the cover. So this book is a fantasy with a touch of romance. The main character of the book is Anna, and she's a girl who lives on the edge of the wilds, and the wilds are kind of a dangerous zone where these creatures live that can, well, I guess kill you. And actually, upon Anna's birth, her mother was actually attacked, and they weren't able to save the mother, but they were able to save Anna. So she has lived with her father in their house ever since she was born, and has no memory or knowledge of her mother because, of course, she passed away. But essentially, at the beginning of this book, Anna's at her home and it's suddenly attacked by these two of them, I'll call them monsters, but they were, I think, called gobbers. And she didn't really know why they're suddenly attacked. She's worried and afraid, also a little bit upset, like mad upset. And she also doesn't really know what they're after, and so she has to discover that throughout the course of the book. But Anna decides that she doesn't want to deal with this and she doesn't want them coming back. So she actually finds another one of the creatures of the wilds and hires them, I guess you would say, in order to track down those gobbers and destroy them before they come to attack her and her father again. And she's especially worried about this because her father is ill. It's a little bit both kind of mentally and physically ill, so her father's just plain unwell and she's very concerned about him. So she really wants this other creature, who does have a name, his name is McCullus, to hunt them down and destroy them. So she hires him, they make a bargain, a little bit of a pact, and she doesn't forget about it, but it's not, she's like, okay, he'll deal with this. But she comes to find out a little bit later in the book that he wasn't successful in destroying them both. I think he got rid of one, but not the other. And in the meantime, he's been cursed by the one that took off. And so they sort of form another agreement where he's like, well, I'm going to die because he cursed me and I'm trapped here, and so my life force is draining. And anyway, so they make another agreement with each other, and so the main struggle of the book is to find that other one to set McCullus free of his curse, but also to find out what's happening, like what were they after and what impact does that have for them and the rest of the world that they live in. Now, the biggest conflict between McCullus and Anna is the fact that really McCullus's type of creature lives off of the souls of people. So his kind of bargain with her, or his trick, is to steal a kiss, and which will then in turn steal her soul. And of course she's like, no. She's like, I know your tricks, that's not what I want. But throughout the course of the curse and what happened, they do share that kiss, and he does take some of her soul. But unlike other people, one, she does not die, and two, the soul that's within him doesn't get destroyed. So he actually carries a piece of her with him. And so the other thing is how that changes him and impacts him as a character. So of course I don't want to spoil much else of the book. It really is one about the relationship between the two main leads. And there's actually other characters in there too, but I'm not going to spoil that. So it deals with the character interactions, but also what's happening within the larger world of the book. It's pretty good. I would definitely recommend this book to those who love fairy tales, and by fairy tales I mean both like the Cinderella tales, but also tales of fairy. So creators like Holly Black. If you like Holly Black's works, especially her Folk of the Air series, you might want to give this one a try. It's very much in a similar vein to that. These creatures are perhaps slightly more demonic. Sounds weird, but honestly they might be a little bit darker than those tales of fairy, but it still is kind of in the same vein, so I definitely would recommend it to people who enjoy that. Essentially, if you like curses and creatures and tales of the other world, you will enjoy this book and you'll get sucked into it. it's also a good pick if you like those things, but you like a little bit of romance thrown in there. You'll also enjoy this book. So I do think overall this was an enjoyable read. My only flaw that would be in it would really be with the character of Anna. I like Anna just fine, but I almost feel like we didn't see enough of her emotional development, and so I wish we had a little bit more of that. We do get to see some of McCullough and his emotional development, especially after he takes in a piece of living soul, but we don't so much see that side of Anna, and so I wish we got just a little bit more of that. But otherwise, I think it was an enjoyable read. Again, I would definitely recommend it to fantasy readers, people who really enjoy the Tales of Fairy. I think they would definitely enjoy this book, so if that's you, you will enjoy this book. So that's it for this video. I will be back with more book recommendations. Until then, bye.